Hi kids, in this session you are going to learn about purchasing power and agriculture policy in India. What is the meaning of the purchasing power? Purchasing power is the value of a currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. That means from the one unit of money, how much goods and services you can able to purchase. That is called as a purchasing power. If the price increases, purchasing power it will decline. If the price decreases, purchasing power will increase. Purchasing power parity. A concept related to purchasing power in purchasing power parity, that is called as a PPP, is an economic theory that estimates the amount that needs to be adjusted to the price of an item. The price of the item, it will be adjusted. PPP can be used to compare countries' income levels and other relevant economic data concerning the cost of living or possible rates of inflation as well as the deflation. Recently in India, it became the third largest economy in terms of PPP. China became the largest economy, pushing the US to the second position. That means China it is in the first position, US in the second position, and India it is in the third position in the purchasing power parity. Okay, now we will move on to the factors which affect the purchasing power. Overpopulation, increasing prices of essential goods, demand for goods, price of goods affect the value of currency, production and supply of goods, poverty and inequality. Overpopulation. If the population it increases, definitely there will be the demand, isn't it? The demand it will increase, but the supply it won't be equal to that demand. So normally what it will happen, it will affect the purchasing power because the price of the product it will increase. If the price of the product it increased, means purchasing power will decrease. Increasing prices of essential goods. There has been a constant growth in the GDP and growth opportunity in the Indian economy. There have been steady increase in the prices of essential goods also. The continuous rise in the prices erodes the purchasing power and adversely affect the poor people. If the essential goods of the price, if it increased, means definitely it will affect the poor people because essential goods it needed by everyone, isn't it? But if the price of the essential good it increase, it goes on increasing, means definitely the purchasing power it won't be there for the poor people. Demand for the goods. When demand for goods increases, the price of goods increases, then the purchasing power is affected. That means the purchasing power it will automatically decline. Price of goods affect the value of currency. When the price increases, the purchasing power decreases. This one already I told. Then what it will happen, it will decrease the value of currency. It will decrease the value of currency. Production and supply of goods. The production supply of goods if declines, definitely the price of the goods it increases. This only I told in the overpopulation itself, isn't it? That means if the production and the supply of the goods, if both it declines, means the price of that product it will increase. If it increasing, means definitely it will affect the purchasing power. Poverty and inequality. Proportion of income and assets owned by top 10% of Indian goes on increasing. This has led to an increase in the poverty level in the society. Generally, purchasing power is affected by poverty and unequal distribution of wealth also. Next, we will move on to the agriculture policy in India. The new agriculture policy based on export of agricultural goods was announced by the central government in 2018. This policy states that the government has decided to remove export restrictions on most organic and processed agricultural products. Agricultural policy of a country is mostly designed by the government for raising agricultural production and productivity and also for raising the level of income and standard of living of farmers within a definite time frame. That means they are framing the 1 year or 6 months like that. In that means during that 1 year or within that 6 months, definitely the production and productivity of the agriculture it should raise, as well as the standard of living of the farmers also it should raise. Like that only they are planned in the agricultural policy. And some important objectives of India's agricultural policy we will see now. Raising the productivity of inputs, raising value added per hectare, protecting the interest of poor farmers, modernizing agricultural sector, environmental degradation. First, we'll move on to the raising the productivity of inputs. One of the important objectives of India's agriculture policy is to improve the productivity of inputs so purchased, like HYV seeds. HYV seeds means high yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, irrigation projects, etc. Through that, we are raising production. Raising value added per hectare. Agriculture policy is to increase per hectare value added by raising the productivity of agriculture in general and productivity of small and marginal holding in particular. Protecting the interest of poor farmers. Agriculture policy is proposed to protect the interest of poor and marginal farmers by abolishing intermediaries through land reforms, expanding institutional credit support to poor farmers, etc. That means what they are doing, the government, they are giving the credit support to the poor farmers, as well as they are abolishing the intermediaries. That means the farmers, they themselves can sell their product in the open market. Otherwise, they can sell their product to the government itself. Okay. Modernizing agriculture sector. The policy support includes the introduction of modern technology in agriculture operations and applications of improved agriculture inputs like high yielding variety seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, and manures like that. Environmental degradation. Agriculture policy of India has set another objective to check environmental degradation of natural base of Indian agriculture. That means agriculture policy, what it's checking, the environmental should not degrade there. Okay, environment should be, there should be the improvement only in the environment for the Indian agriculture. So they are avoiding the environmental degradation. Removing bureaucratic obstacles. The policy has set another objective to remove bureaucratic obstacles on the farmers, cooperative societies, and self-help institutions so that they can work independently. That means through the self-help institutions and the cooperative societies, they are helping the farmers to avoid the debt. That means to come out from the debt.